Well, this is PTSD Awareness Month, and we are often misinformed about post-traumatic stress disorder. So what is it? How do you get it? And how can it be treated? Well, joining us now with the answers is Dr. Carrie Elk from the Elk Institute, and you are an expert. You work with people day in and day out, especially our military and first responders.
Yes, absolutely. It's PTSD Awareness Month and PTSD Awareness Day on the 27th, but in my world, it's PTSD Awareness Day every day.
So we talk about awareness, and it's a good thing that we're aware, but we need to do something about this. And a lot of people, I guess, are fearful of getting help because they maybe think medications need to be involved or a lot of talk therapy, and they just don't want to relive that trauma. But there are other ways to deal with this.
Oh, absolutely. I think the first thing, awareness is great, but like you said, we need to do something. And breaking down the stigma, getting away from the stigma that you have PTSD because you're mentally ill. It originates from mental illness or ill preparedness or wrong action, or you're just not as good at dealing with something, or you can't handle things as well as someone else. We really need to get away from that because none of that is true. You get PTSD because when you're in a traumatic situation or somebody else is in a traumatic situation that you're witnessing, the way that memory is stored is different than when you're in a regular state of being. When you're in your fight or flight or emergency mode, the information gets stored as sensory. Smells, sights, and sounds going on around you are encoded as sensory memory. So when you encounter them later, that smell, that sight, that sound that was present, you have a visceral response, like it's happening all over again.
Now, does this actually change who you are on the inside, physically?
No. What it is we've all been, as adults, we've all been through something significant in our life, traumatic, either a death or an accident or natural disaster or something. And you know those days and weeks, maybe even months following, your sleep is out of order, your mood is out of order, you keep thinking and dwelling on the incident, and that's normal. That's the stress that follows trauma. That's PTS, post-traumatic stress. That's normal and natural as your mind is trying to integrate that information into an archived memory, archiving all of the things that you just took in. That's normal and natural. But months, even a year later after an event, if you still, every time you hear the name, every time you hear the sound, get the visceral response, that's going to cause a lot of disorder in your life. But we can fix that. That's what people need to know, is you don't have to live like that. That doesn't need to be your new norm. That doesn't need to be who you are. We can manually integrate that.
So let's talk about what you do, because we have the Warrior Games here in town, and a lot of focus is going on, and rightfully so, of our incredible military members.
Sure.
But you treat military members free of charge, correct? Tell us more about the Elk Institute.
Yes, so the Elk Institute is a 501c3 that I established in 2014 to be used as an adjunct or an alternative to the VA and the military mental health for those who won't use or need something else. And we don't charge service members or veterans for their treatment at the Institute. We rely on donations to do that. There is a cost, but never to the veteran or service member.
So if people want to make a donation to help
we can certainly use it. We have no shortage of need and requests for help, but we always need sponsors to take care of our veterans and service members who are seeking help for PTSD. And you can find that information at elkinstitute.org, and 96% of your donation goes directly to our program for the veterans.
It's incredible what you do, so thank you so much for working with our veterans day in and day out. I know they certainly appreciate you.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me and getting the good word out.
All right. Well, let's turn things